The world sways. It is the first truth the child of the sky minus rider clan learns, not the solid, unyielding truth of the ground minus clods, but a slow, rhythmic, continental sway. It is the breath of the Great Father, the living island they call home. Elora, her hand stained with the purple juice of ridge minus fungus, feels it through the soles of her bare feet, a deep, sonorous vibration that is both heartbeat and footstep, from her perch on the high flight. The world below is a moving tapestry of green and brown, a distant, dangerous dream. Here, on the vast, grey landscape of the Argentinosaurus back, is the only life her people have known for generations. Their huts are woven cycad frond and cured hide are lashed tight to the great, bony osteoderms that stud the creature's spine like a mountain range in miniature. This is the pinnacle of their human evolution, a symbiosis born from desperation and brilliance. They are not masters, they are keepers, custodians of a god who walks. In the morning mists, the clan moves with the Great Father's rhythm. The men, led by Kale, the old scout whose eyes hold the memory of the ground, descend on high ropes. They are the cleaners. With long minus-handled scrapers of sharpened Allosaurus bone, they pry thick. Blood minus sucking ticks the size of a man's fist from the folds of the Great Father's skin. The colossal creature rumbles, a sound that vibrates in their chests, a low groan of relief. This is the pact. The clan provides this vital service, and in return, the Great Father grants them sanctuary from the teeth and claws of the prehistoric life below. They are a single, sprawling organism, a testament to the strange pathways of hominid history. Their primitive technology is not of conquest, but of maintenance. Their greatest weapon is the understanding that their survival is tied utterly to the well-minus being of their world. But today, the rhythm is wrong. It starts as a tremor, a discordant shudder that runs through the living mountain. It is not the familiar jolt of a misplaced step, nor the deep groan of thirst. It is the vibration of fear. The Great Father's colossal head, a crane minus-like silhouette against the morning sun, rises high, and a sound drips from its throat a low, panicked bellow that sends the pterosaurs roosting on its spine scattering into the sky like frightened leaves. Work stops. Mothers pull their children into the huts. The air grows still, thick with a shared, unspoken question. Kale, his face a road map of sun-minus-cured wrinkles, scales the tallest osteoderm, the watcher's peak. He shields his eyes and stares into the distant tree line that marks the edge of the plains their home is currently traversing. For a long time, he is silent. Then, he speaks, his voice a low gravel that carries across the hide-minus plains. They are not hunting, he says, his words dropping like stones into the quiet terror. They are following. Below, half-minus hidden by the ferns, or shadows, too large for raptors, too organized for a lone carnivore, three sleek, monstrous shapes, Giganotosaurus, and they are keeping pace, their massive heads turning in unison, their eyes fixed on the great, walking mountain of flesh. They are learning. For 3 full cycles of the sun, the shadows stalk them. The clan watches from their high perch as the pack of Giganotosaurus moves with a terrifying patience, a fluid and coordinated menace unlike any they have seen before. These are not the brutish lone hunters of the lowlands. They are a thinking, breathing weapon. They test the Great Father, darting in with feigned lunges, their saw-minus tooth mouths agape, forcing the colossal sauropod into agitated, ground-minus shaking turns. The constant stress is a poison. The Great Father's steps become sluggish. His deep, resonant breathing grows ragged. The clan feels it in their bones. Their world is growing weary. Their god is being hunted to exhaustion. The attack comes not with a roar, but with a sickening, tearing lurch. Just as the morning sun crests the distant mountains, the Great Father dips his long neck to drink from a river. In that moment of vulnerability, the pack strikes. The clan is thrown from its feet as a cataclysmic impact shudders through the living island. It is a force beyond imagining. The collision of titans. Elara is flung against the wall of her hut. The sound of wet, ripping thunder that is felt more than heard. The Great Father screams, a sound of pure agony that shatters the morning quiet, a bellow of a dying world. Kale is already at the edge, his face a mask of horror. He looks down the sheer cliff of hide. There, carved into the Great Father's massive flank, are 3 parallel canyons of flesh. Blood, thick and dark, pours forth, creating a river of red that stains the grey hills of skin and drips onto the ferns below. The pack has retreated, their work done. They have inflicted a wound designed not to kill, but to cripple, to fester, to bring the mountain down. Panic turns to a cold, gnawing dread. The wound, impossible to reach from above, begins to reap, attracting swarms of biting flies in the shadow of a circling pterodactyl. Infection is a certainty. The Great Father's pace slows to a painful, dragging limp. The clan gathers at the spine, the air thick with the scent of blood and fear. Some argue to stay, to pray, to wait. To wait is to die with him. Kayle's voice cuts through the murmurs. He points down with a hand that does not tremble. We are the keepers. Our primitive technology is not just for building huts. It is for preserving life. His life. His plan is madness, born of desperation and a profound loyalty. They will descend. They will go down the mountain into the jaws of the hunters. They will become the surgeons of a god. A team of the 8 swiftest and strongest is chosen. They gather bundles of dried fire minus moss, and long spears of sharpened bone tipped with obsidian scavenged from a volcanic field crossed million years ago. They braid new ropes. Their knots tied with grim purpose, preparing to lower themselves down the flank toward the gaping wounds and the waiting monsters below. A desperate act of altruism for the gentle giant that is their entire existence. Their specialized survival skills, developed in this unique prehistoric world, are their only hope. The descent is a journey into hell. The Lara hands burn on the braided hide rope. The immense, vertical landscape of the Great Father's skin rushing past her. The wind is a roar in her ears, thick with the coppery stench of blood. Below, the wound is a gaping, obscene canyon, and circling it are the 3 Giganotosaurus, their massive heads tilted back, watching the slow, deliberate descent of these insignificant creatures. They are not threatened. They are amused. They wait for the feast to fall into their mouths. Kale is the first to touch the raw, quivering edge of the chasm of flesh. He wastes no time. No. He barks, his voice nearly lost in the low groans of a suffering titan. The team moves with desperate efficiency, a testament to their unique survival skills. They are outstriving to mend the mountain. Elara and another woman use wide, shell-minus-like scrapers to clear the wound of filth and swarming insects, a grotesque but vital task. The men, anchored by their ropes, ignite the bundles of fire minus moss. Acrid smoke billows out, thick and suffocating. It pours into the wound, cauterizing, cleansing. The Great Father shudders violently, a tectonic event that nearly throws them from their precarious perches. His bellow of agony echoing across the plain. The smoke serves a second purpose. It engulfs the Giganotosaurus back, stinging their eyes, fouling their senses. Annoyance turns to aggression. The pack leader, a brute with a scarred snout, lunges forward. Its jaws, lined with teeth like daggers, snapping shut just inches from a dangling hunter. The man screams, kicking his feet, as Kale and another spearman lean far out on their ropes and jab their long, obsidian minus tipped poles at the predator's sensitive snout. The attack is not meant to kill. It is an act of defiance, of pestilence. The monster roars in fury and pain, shaking its head. But the clan has one more ally in this impossible dinosaur fight. The Great Father, even in its agony, feels them. It feels their scraping, their fire, their frantic work upon its body. This is the truth of their symbiotic relationship, a pact written in shared existence. As the scarred Giganotosaurus lunges again, the Great Father moves, not a panicked stampede, but a slow, deliberate shift of its colossal weight, followed by a sweeping arc of its tail. The enormous appendage, a chain of caudal vertebrae the size of boulders, doesn't strike the predators. It doesn't need to. It slams into the earth 20 yards away, and the shockwave alone is enough to stagger the pack. It is a message. I am not dead. We are not conquered. The pack leader hesitates, its reptilian brain weighing the promise of a meal against the persistent, stinging pain from the spears and the undeniable fact that its prey is still fighting back. It looks from the smoking wound to the defiant specks on the ropes, to the colossal, angry eye of the sauropod. It gives a low hiss of frustration, turns, and melts back into the tree line. Its pack following without hesitation. The hunt is over. The ascent is a grueling, silent climb, their bodies screaming with exhaustion when they finally collapse back onto the familiar, swaying plains of the spine. The clan gathers. They look down at the great, smoking scar on their world, a testament to their shared pain and their shared victory. Their place in this prehistoric world is no longer a matter of luck, but a pact sealed in fire and blood. This was more than the survival of a clan. It was the birth of an idea. On the scarred flank of a living world, these ancient humans demonstrated a truth that would echo through all of hominid history. That the greatest weapon of Homo sapiens was not the sharpened stone, but the audacious mind that wielded it. They proved that survival was not merely about outrunning predators, but about understanding the world so deeply that it could be turned into an ally. This single, desperate act of veterinary surgery on a creature of unimaginable scale was a leap of consciousness. It was the moment our ancestors refused their designated role as prey, looking upon the most dangerous dinosaurs not just as a threat, but as a challenge to be met with intellect in cooperation. What spark of defiance was truly lit that day? It was the incandescent belief that humanity need not live in the shadow of titans, but could find the courage to carve its home upon their very backs, forever changing the trajectory of life on this ancient earth. Here, where the echoes of courage still tremble, the chronicle is sealed, and the silence that follows is the sound of our own history holding its breath. But across the great salt-water expanse, on islands shrouded in volcanic steam, a different kind of intelligence is watching the skies.